It seems clear right now that MBS is trying to consolidate his power, but what are the risks of this sort of hardline approach?
Well, I think it can be read two ways, and that's why you're seeing a bit of uncertainty in the markets, because the optimistic camp will say this is just a continuation of his consolidation. He's pushing a reform agenda. Okay, it's not great to see this happening, but this will keep things moving. The flip side is to say, okay, we have this big open reform agenda. We had this huge Davos in the desert gathering 2 weeks ago, and now we've got what looks like a fairly standard, crackdown and roundup of rivals. So that's kind of undercutting things on the risk side.
Is this a generational issue in any sense? And when you go back to that conference now just over a week ago, what's the message here to investors about the integrity of the economy there in Saudi Arabia, what it means for investors from outside the country, outside the kingdom?
Well, I think the message that the kingdom wants to put forward is that it's looking, into the future, into a dynamic Saudi economy that, to be honest, has never existed outside of oil. And I think that's part of the problem here, is that in order to get there, the prince seems to feel like he has to consolidate power in a way that has not been done thus far in Saudi Arabian history. I mean, he has consolidated power away from other branches of the family, and he has also consolidated power of all the main arms of the military, which again we haven't seen in the past.
Sure.
What seems really interesting to me is the arrest of billionaire Prince Al Walid. We know that his kingdom holdings, as this chart shows, 5106, has in fact been lagging some of the Saudi peers. That's against the Tadawul as well. The MSCI EM markets, we are seeing kingdom holdings there in the line. In blue, of course, they hold a stake in everything, multinationals, Twitter, Citigroup, Apple. But wasn't he quite supportive of MBS before, and also of the king? Why has he been targeted?
I think, well, this is all speculation, as it must necessarily be, but I think it's partly, again, he may represent a rival power center. He has, a certain following of his own. And it may also be, one element of this is that it's all been wrapped in this kind of almost political marketing of an anti-corruption drive. And in that sense, it serves a purpose to target someone rich and powerful.